Good afternoon. House full, huh? It's good to see everyone. We at TAG have always felt that the transportation community is a community. And so whenever we get together, we see the smiles on your faces. It's hard to usually get you to quiet down. You never get quiet easily. But today, I think that it's a very important occasion. I guess about a week ago, we were here with our comptroller, who stood here and told us for the first time that Texas is likely to have a surplus of $12 billion in the next biennial budget. Think about that, a $12 billion surplus. And then when you see on the federal side that there are trillion-dollar bills that have been passed and Texas shares in $36 billion more in transportation infrastructure. TAG was founded 10 years ago with the sole purpose of trying to bring more revenue, federal, state, and local level towards transportation projects. The things that we had thought about are happening now. There's not a shortage of capital, but there is a shortage of human capital. The challenges that we face today are very different than what we faced in the past. And so for that, it's critically important in our agencies to have the kind of leadership that takes on the challenges of today. And in our private sector, to have the kind of partnerships that not only move the industry, but move our communities forward. Because transportation builds quality of life more than anything else. So today, we're very excited to have with us the Director of HCTRA, Roberto Trevino. I think that as you look across the industry, HCTRA is one of the largest toll authorities in the nation, especially in the state. And so what they do not just affects Harris County, but it really sets the bar for the industry. And Director Trevino's have a long history in Houston at Metro, did $100 million projects there, really raised the bar. And now in January of 2021, unanimous vote of Commissioners Court to take on leadership here. He is not just bringing change, but transformation to HCTRA, one of the leading agencies in our nation and our state. What he's doing is not just change, but transformational, because he is a change agent. And so it's exciting for us to have him here today. I know that many of you want to listen to him rather than me, but before we do, we're going to play a short video from our commissioners, those that are here and those that are not, and our judge, before I invite Director Trevino. So, Jordan.
Under the direction of Executive Director Roberto Trevino, Harris County Toll Road Authority's mission is to operate and maintain a mobility system that meets the diverse needs of all Harris County residents. Mobility and transportation are priorities for me and my staff. This plan aligns with the toll road's commitment to equity and accessibility. Through this new technology, we will increase accessibility by removing barriers that prevent or discourage folks who might not have bank accounts from using toll roads. We have to do everything we can to give all drivers equitable access to this great community asset.
With the all-electronic tolling project that is underway, it will provide so much accessibility, easy accessibility to the people who need to use it for their daily commute. But also, I'm proud that the system is thinking about understanding its connectivity to surrounding communities. We're growing the vision because the toll system can simply be a toll road, or it can be something much more contemporary to serve the needs of so many. That's what I'm excited about.
By going to all electronic, we can have fewer accidents. The studies all show that if you don't have these toll booths, that you won't have as many accidents. These are national studies, but we also know from our own personal experience, by having all electronic, we reduce roadway distractions. We reduce congestion where accidents occur. We eliminate broken travel to where you have to stop along the way to get your place, which means we reduce accidents and we are all safer.
I would term the Harris County toll road system as the backbone for our entire transportation system in the Houston area, not only because of storm-related events, but just the daily routine that we have from getting from point A to point B. Who would have ever thought that starting with the Hardy Toll Road back in the 80s, that today we would have such a comprehensive toll road system as we do? But it is, and it's the connectivity throughout the region that this offers us, that as we connect our county roads, our city streets to the network of the port, there's nothing more important than getting our goods and cargo from the ships into the other parts of the country. And our toll road system is the very backbone of that.
We have the opportunity to build on that, to build an even stronger system that will set us up for the next generation. A system that is smart and modern, that is on par with the most efficient, most beautiful transportation systems around the globe. I am so grateful to everybody who has worked on getting us to where we are and eager to leverage those skills, those tools, those resources to work together to set our community up for the future of transportation in Harris County.
Gentlemen, please welcome Director Robert Trevino, a change agent in our industry.
No, thank y'all very, very much for, I'll speak on behalf of myself and all the HCTRA employees that are here, that we're truly blessed and honored that you took the time to come here today and listen to what the vision is for the toll road. Look, I say it in a lot of my presentations, and I truly mean it, and I'll continue to repeat it in every presentation. It's like, we're all in this together. Without everyone in this room, no public agency will succeed. So for the fact that you're here, you want to listen to what we're doing, and you want to be supportive and help us achieve our goals, thank you very much. And from the bottom of our heart, and for all the HCTRA employees here, thank you very much. To the HCTRA staff that's here, I really appreciate your support since I've joined the agency. Everyone in the room here, so there's an organization is only as good as the talent that it has in it. And we have a great talent at HCTRA. A lot of it's here. A lot of it is seasoned. No offense to the veterans in the agency, but there's a lot of young talent. There's a lot of future leaders that are here in the room today that got invited to the event today. Please take the time to get to know them, because as we start progressing through some of the vision that we're doing, those are going to be the future leaders here, right? So let's leave a mark in the region, right? Let's not organizationally and in the community that we serve. So thank you all very much for showing up. So I'll start off with a little note, is that I moved to Houston in 1996. And in my first trip for a job interview that I didn't get, by the way, I actually got lost on the toll road. And, I had no money to my name. I just had enough gas to get here, enough gas to get back, nothing. And I get lost on the toll road. Who knows where? I'm coming up 59. I still don't know where I was, but I did see that last free exit sign. And as long as I'm here, there will be that sign because it really does help, right? And then here we are several years later, and our commissioners say, yeah, that's the guy we want. It's like, it's the strangest thing. No, so, and to that I'll say, Commissioner Garcia, Commissioner Ramsey, thanks for being present. As you can see by the video, the support of the entire court has been tremendous to the agency. It does see the potential that we can provide to the region. And I think that's why there's a lot of people in the room today, is the fact that there is untapped potential at the Toll Road Authority, and it starts with building blocks that we'll start sharing today. So thank you very much for attending today, Commissioner Cagle, Commissioner Garcia. And just because you're here today, you're in the top 4 you're 2 of the top 4 favorite commissioners ever. ever. So, the presentation is up. It's from collecting change to embracing change. Everyone things like, oh, well, let's just go move the toll plazas. And, you know, like anything else, it's all interconnected. And as we started assessing what the toll, you know, going cashless meant or all electronic, it really is, how can we impact the lives of the citizens of Harris County better? It's not just about removing the cash option. You know, once we go through the process here, so here we go. There we go. Really, all electronic tolling, it's probably not the right name for what we're doing, right? Yes, we're gonna go all electronic tolling. But as you start taking a look at that, you know, the flow chart of this, you know, you're removing the cash boost, but it starts about with the people that we serve, right? So, you know, we have our customers, right? And it starts, like Commissioner Cagle said, it's all about safety. You know, safety is what we always say, and you know, it's always in every agency, it's always the first word that is in someone's vision and mission statement, because that's practice, right? But this project here truly is going to make our roadway safer. Like, you know, there's a lot of PEs in the room, and we're engineers in the room, and look, we sign on to protect the public health and safety. You know, that's what our role is. It's in the mission, and this project's actually going to execute that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But so you start off with the customers and say, okay, well, you know, they're going to go through the booths a little bit, you know, faster. So you eliminate the stop, right? So you eliminate the stop, and then they pick up speed. If you take that out of the equation, and you start straightening roadways, well then, okay, well now we have to take a look at how do we serve the people that do pay with coins or change, which was included myself for a really long time. How do we get them, because we serve all residents of Harris County, how do we get them incorporated into it? And that's where we have to be equitable, and we have to provide a lot more technology than we do now as to being able to provide access to the toll road. You know, I got lost, and you know, I'm not the last one that did that. We don't want people to be afraid of the toll road. We want people to embrace the toll road and say, look, that's a tremendous asset to the region, and it is improving the quality of life in our region. So, you know, we're going to introduce new features to where we can provide better customer service. But as you're going through that cash booth, is our signage correct? Are the ramps located at the right place? Because even at the ramp locations, you have to stop to pay. There was the option to stop and pay at all the ramps. So is the signage correct? Are the direct connects at the right place? Do we have safe travel speeds? So you start seeing that slippery slope where you're saying, well, wait a minute, all electronic tolling is above and beyond just removing that toll plaza and putting a gantry there. It's about safety, and it's about improving what we have. If we want to expand as an organization, you have to start off with the foundational blocks and say, okay, the foundation is you have a great system, make it better. You have to modify it. We'll assess it all and make it better. So you start analyzing locations of exit ramps, start analyzing direct connects, and oh, by the way, if we have traffic modelers in the room, what are the needs of the future? We can't just blindly say, oh, hey, let's take off this booth, put gantries here. Well, how about addressing the future needs, which is our role? Our role is like, so when you start taking the future needs, and you start looking at the growth of Harris County is a fantastic place to live. And, you know, the population's growing, you know, so then, okay, well, do we have enough direct connects? Have we finished the system? Is there additional investment that needs to be done? All right, well, if there's additional investment, where does it go? How does it go? What are the needs? You know, Commissioner Ramsey said, well, you know, since the first one in 1983, you know, Hardy was built in 83, right? And here recently, with the east side of the toll road completing, we start thinking, okay, well, we're almost done, you know? So, but the answer is as you start modifying the system, you know, the plan was for 83 to finish what we have. The region has changed from 83. I mean, 83, we didn't have Google. I mean, we didn't have Google, like, you know, we had paper maps. I mean, the region has changed. The port has grown. The growth in the unincorporated portions of Harris County has exploded. So there's different needs throughout the region that have to be adapted into what we're doing in the future. And you know, we'll talk about it as we go through, but as you can see that we didn't want to take a look at just a real narrow vision for the future of Harris County at the toll plaza. By adapting what we do at the toll plaza really is going to change what we do in the future, what the needs are, what the direction is, and what the support that we'll need to execute that plan. So that's why we say it is more than just another construction project. So when we had the first project meeting teams, I would talk to the team. I was like, engineers, put your pencil down, because I know y'all love to draw. The first thing you want to do in a room is you want to draw. Like, put your pencil down. Focus on the customer. And those customer needs, when we talk about what their needs are, is not just how you pay at the toll plaza. It's about safety. It's about travel time reliability. We are charging people to be on our infrastructure. With the growth that we have, there's some sections of our roadway where if you're a customer, you're saying, well, what value am I getting by being on the toll road? We and the people in this room have to help work together and say, how do we provide a good customer experience that's safe, that meets future needs? And that's what we're doing today. Is that, all electronic tolling is very a simple term, but it really is more than just another construction project. What we're building is the foundational building block that can lead the agency to do more in the region, which I think it has the capability to do. Alrighty. So when we talk about a new way of interacting and a new way of connectivity, and that's what we talk about. With anything that we do, you have to have a good, strong foundation. So as we remove these toll plazas and we meet the needs of today and make sure it's safe, we're going to be taking a look at traffic models through our process and say, what do we need to do in the future? That process right there is going to inform our capital and CIP plan to meet the future needs of the region, because we all know in this room they change. And we better hurry, because what Mustafa said is, there's all this money coming out. I got to lock you down first. So we're going to do it pretty quickly. But it's a new way of interacting. And when we say interacting, we don't mean just interacting with our customers. We mean interacting with the region. I think now is the opportunity for the toll road. It is historically the agency that says, hey, we're building a toll road. Don't get too involved in the community, because they'll just ask you about why is it not free yet. And the truth is we, through this process, we had focus groups. And there are people out there who are very appreciative of the toll road. We had folks where we talked to our customers, and they said, no, you know what? You provide a great infrastructure. It is well maintained. It is well lit, and it's safe, because you have IRT teams out there and you have law enforcement constantly on our infrastructure. So they're appreciative. They accept its role in the region. And well, you know what? If that's the philosophy and what our customers are telling us, well, let's leverage this tremendous asset that we have, this at the toll road, and let's do more in Harris County. Let's do more than what we have. So when I'm not just talking about interacting with our customers, I'm talking about interacting with our regional partners. Because Harris County in '83 was not what it looks like today. And today, look, the Harris County boundary lines are not growing. They're going to be full. We have to serve the entire county. Well, it has to change. We have to adapt as well to meet those needs. So there's a new way of interacting with everyone, our customers, our partners. It's a new way of connectivity, and the fact that, look, there's no more right-of-way. Like any project, any major project in the region has right-of-way is your biggest constraint. Well, the right-of-ways are essentially gone. So what do? We have to work collectively with our partners at TxDOT. We have to work with our partners at the city. We have to work with our partners at Metro and say, how can we creatively work on infrastructure that is multi-purpose, that can get people to where they need to go? Because with travel time savings, the faster they can get to work and the safer they get there, the faster they can get home, be with their family and kids. And that's what we're all about. We're not about infrastructure. We're about building an improved quality of life in Harris County. The density is coming. We better adapt to it. And the CIP that we have now does not meet the needs. All electronic tolling means that we're going to fix what we have. And while we're fixing what we have, we're going to project the future, and then we're going to go execute a plan to deliver the future. So as with anything, if you're going to change direction, we adopted a new vision and mission statement that Commissioner Ellis noted to, and it's to provide a safe, reliable, evolving mobility system for all citizens of Harris County. A lot of organizations, it's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's great. It's up on the wall. Nobody even remembers it. I quiz my executive staff every now and then. Whoever draws a short straw has to reiterate it. And I will not share the success rate, but I will not share the success rate of those quizzes. However, it is really important. Like with any organization, the healthy organization is how is it aligned with the vision of the court, with the vision of the agency, and what it needs to do. And as we go through here, the first thing we talk about is safety. There we go. Like Commissioner Cagle mentioned, we went all electronic tolling on Hardy, and we removed the cash booths at the Ship Channel Bridge. At the Ship Channel Bridge, accidents were reduced by 50%. On Hardy, they were reduced by 25%. So there is analytical data that shows that we can provide a better, safer roadway without the cash booth, without people having to start and stop, and without the weaving. You go wide to 12 lanes and you neck it down back to 4. That is the core of what all electronic tolling is about safety. It's about safety, and what does that safety lead to the partnerships that we have going forward. So it'll be, as we model all this and those speeds increase, we're gonna need help in the traffic models, we're gonna need help in signage. There's all these different activities that need to occur that make sure that we truly address the future needs. So as we go through all electronic tolling, it's foundational. On a parallel path, we'll be working with court members, and we'll be planning what is the plan for us to incorporate in other portions of Harris County. And then reliability. So it's about customers. When I showed up at HCTRA, people will attest, I am not an IT genius, but the software, the back office that's there, and the talent that's in the building and outside the building to help support that back office. If you have an easy tag, that's 99.9% accuracy in the collection of the toll. It's like, man, I never saw that higher grade. Ever did I see that on my GPA. But so I was like completely shocked. Like I didn't think those were attainable, but that is great. So it's about reliability. It's reliability as a roadway, right? So when we talk about safety of the roadway and being reliable, we're an agency that, state of good repair, and a lot of agencies, has a funding allocation, and could be what's left over, it could be focused on, depending on the situation. We're required by our bond indentures to maintain a safe, good quality roadway. So, in our focus group discussions, what I found really interesting is that it was a husband that was speaking, and it was the most gravitating to me. It was a husband that was speaking, and his wife worked late at night. And he would tell his wife, use the toll road. He would direct her to use the toll road. And that's what makes our job worthwhile, is because if someone, someone's spouse, someone's mother, someone's sister feels that her husband is directing, not directing, because we don't direct anymore, we talk. Was, there is no directing. I apologize. You know what? He gave advisement, and she took it under consideration that to use the toll road because of the good quality roadway that we have, and that's the type of reliability that we have to sustain now, and we have to sustain going forward, right? So reliability is really important because it's about the customer experience, right? If we're collecting tolls and, times are tough now, inflation's up, things are it's challenging. Well, why can't we provide a good, reliable service for the people that we provide for? All right. No, here we go. There we go. Sustainability. So when it comes to it's safe, reliable, sustainable, and this is where the county has doubled down. We have to be more sustainable in what it needs. And I think there's always, you can leverage efficiencies in any organization. You can say, sustainability, what does it mean? You know what? It's using today's natural resources to protect the use for future generations. As we take a look at these roadways, Houston, here it comes, right? We have no spring here, right? Get love these days, but that 100-degree heat's coming here. Why don't we have solar panels on our toll plazas to power our system? So we've taken a look at what what can we do to incorporate renewable energy so that way we can power the toll plazas? The toll plazas use, because of the number of cameras and the lighting associated with those facilities, our electric bill is through the roof. Well, why not be a little bit more sustainable for the environment? How about using new technology? And we've done an analysis where if we invest in solar panels, we can power our system. Your return on the investment is going to be in about 6 to 7 years. And then with the 25-year life, that's a win-win. And as our O&M cost of having to pay electric bill goes down, well, maybe we can transfer those savings down to our customers and not raise the tolls. Or hey, heaven forbid, we lower the toll, which you know what, we're taking a look at as well. It is a wide sweeping reimagining of what the toll road does, what its role is in the region, and how much we can charge our customers. By nature of a toll road, the only way you can adjust capacity is by increasing the rate. I mean, that's never a pleasant conversation with anyone. Well, then why not, with the assets that we have, improve the system where we can keep the rates or lower the rates, but still provide that good customer experience? How about we in this room raise our bar as opposed to doing the simple thing and saying, we'll just raise the rates? Because that doesn't address the issue, and it doesn't address the customers. And you know, the customers are the people that we serve. It's the residents of Harris County. So it's a whole different change, it's a whole different dynamic. And by being sustainable, and there's multiple benefits to being sustainable because it's a cascading effect to ultimately the most important person in the room or in the county, which is the citizens of Harris County. So equity, you know, like 8% of it doesn't seem like a lot, but we do 2 million transactions a day. So 8% of that, we're using cash. Now, these people may not have a credit card. They may not have a bank account. They may not choose to have a credit card or bank account and choose just not to give it to us. We have to be equitable to make sure that we capture all citizens of Harris County to participate into the toll road. It'd be really good for us to just give everybody an easy tag, but it's just not that easy because of the processes to collect. But when we talk about equitable, the first thing that we have to do as part of this is to be inclusive for all citizens, regardless of their status in Harris County or their financial status. And that's where we want to introduce new apps, new methods. Right now, it's very, well, come to us. Come to our Easy Tag store and get your tag, or get online and we'll mail you one. We're going to look at being more inclusive into the community and say, well, if you could pay your water bill at HEB, well, why can't you get an Easy Tag at HEB or pay your invoice at HEB? And we are producing. Well, I guess we're going to start producing. Right now, it's 85,000 paper invoices a day. We're going to increase that to 100,000 invoices a day just to catch up with the growing trend. And that's not sustainable. That really is not sustainable. And it's really because you have a segment of the population that may not have other means to participate. So we have to get more aggressive in permeating the market with our Easy Tag. And we have to get more aggressive and be out there in the public and start being good members of Harris County to where it makes it easier to collect and lower our transaction costs. When someone goes through our Easy Tag account, Easy Tag, and it's a transaction, it's 15 cents. It is 15 cents for us to collect that toll. On a paper invoice, and this is old numbers, this is 2017 numbers, it costs $7.80 for a paper invoice. And then we had some great interns this last summer. The interns, they calculated, they came from the precinct offices. They did an analysis, and they calculated how many customer service calls come from every paper invoice. So I think they determined for every 16 paper invoices, it creates a customer call. Well, now I got to pay for a customer call center. And then I got to pay for a collections agent. And then I got to pay for an attorney to go collect. They're just cascading effect with the way we're doing business now. We have to get better. And we're going to do it through partnerships. What are those partnerships? How can we permeate the market with the Easy Tag? And how can we be more equitable in the region to incentivize people using the tag? And again, if we talk about mutual benefit, the mutual benefit is that it lowers our cost per transaction. we can do more in the county with it, and then we can pivot and maybe potentially lower our transaction costs. All right. Now, stewardship and accountability. This is a holistic approach to doing it. You know, there was a perception, right? Oh, toll road is just infrastructure. Toll road is not just infrastructure. The toll road is about the community. It truly is about the community. Like, you know, if it was the ring of 1983 and there was nobody around it, when no one around it, okay, it could be about infrastructure. But if you see the growth that it can spur, you know, right now I would venture to say like the growth out of Generation Park has just been exploding. It's because invested in a toll road there, and it's around the toll road. So when we talk about steward and accountability, we have to take a look at all the connectivities, all the forms, and say, look, how can we spur growth? How can we improve the quality of life with the toll road that we have? And look, everybody knows, everybody in this room knows, the toll road can do it. The toll road can do it, and we can do it well if we partner well and say, look, we're not done yet. We have to keep growing. How do you do it? That's the process that we kind of work through, and that's what we're going to do with the electronic tolling. And then we talk about powering community enhancement. So when we talk about powering community enhancement, this is where we're going to change lanes just a little bit. And historically, we've been really focused on toll road, toll road, toll road. You know, well, the corridors are quickly drying up. You know, the growth is growing. We understand the challenges of improving quality of life. You know, the growth is here. So since I've been here, I-10 has been rebuilt, 290 has been rebuilt, 45 is getting ready to be rebuilt. East Tex had just been done before that. You have a lot of traffic coming into the urban core, right? But can anyone in the room determine, hey, have we had an urban core project that says, hey, yeah, we're dropping all these cars into downtown, which are needed. I'm not saying that projects aren't needed. The growth is there. We have to do it. But what are we doing to the urban core to help as a toll road? So we have a toll road that's creating an issue because of need. But when has there been a focus on the urban core? When we talk about powering community enhancement, we talk about really connecting communities. Because, you know, I think everyone's heard the term like, well, you live inside of 610, you live outside of 610, or outside the Beltway, north of I-10, south of I-10. Why are those terms used? It's because it's this big concrete structure, it divides, it's a division line. And as we start taking a look at how do we remove those barriers, but still meet the needs of the growth of the region, that's where we have to power more of the community, right? As all these cars dump in from the freeways that are needed to support the growth in the sprawling areas of Harris County, well, what are we doing? And I know what happens because, you know, I'm an engineer myself. Oh, we need a wider lane. You know, we need to, you know, narrow the sidewalk. Well, what about the people that live inside 610? What about the people that have to live in that environment? So we have to focus on that. And it's not because, you know, we're running out of things to do. It's because we've created an issue in certain areas of Harris County that needs to get addressed, because it's not about infrastructure. Like we always say, it's going to be about quality of life. And that's where we talk about powering community enhancement, and the fact that the expectation of HCTRA, as you put in for an SOQ, is higher than it was before. You know, and we'll talk about it here about, you know, submitting SOQs to HCTRA. Do not tell me that you can build a sidewalk. Guess what? I got news for you. I know you can build a sidewalk. Can you improve the quality of life of the citizens of Harris County, and how can you do it? That's where we have to change, because the big expansion, the big growth it has occurred, and it will continue to occur, because at our core, as Commissioner Randy said, we are a toll road. And we have to take a look at that, but as we build these toll roads and we build these corridors, we can't forget segments of the population that have some unintended consequences of that. So as we talk about all electronic tolling, we will be taking a look at all aspects of the roadways to say, hey, how can we connect communities? And I know it's like, well, look, in a lot of sections, the toll road was there first. Well, it doesn't mean that we can't do something about it. And so we're talking about also community enhancements is, how can we partner with agencies? Look, we're all in this together. You know, last time I checked, City of Houston was in Harris County. Last time I checked, Metro serviced Harris County. Last time I checked, you know, the unincorporated portions of Harris County are served by Harris County. So we're all in this together. So why the agency needs to pivot in that direction and say, how do we serve all residents of Harris County? And we really need to do it now. You know, we have a bike plan, we have a transit plan, we have a high capacity plan, we got this plan, that plan, this plan. You know who can do it? It's time to execute, and it's going to be HCTRA, and it's going to be HCTRA with partners such as the city, as Metro, and with other organizations, entities, so we can start getting to work now, because everybody knows the answer. Thank you. Thank you. And we got to go quickly because, you know, all this work's coming down, and I got to lock y'all down. I got to lock the best down. I know the best is in this room right now. But, you know, I think the time is now. The alignment is now to where we have the assets at HCTRA, and we have this revenue that can make a bigger difference. So the way, you know, just real quick on how the funding works at HCTRA, you have surplus revenue, and then you have our construction bonds. Great news. We got a lot of both. The question now is, how are we going to use it? And how can we help? Like, you know, there's big issues, right? You have the flooding issue. Well, how can HCTRA help with the flooding? How can HCTRA help with the mobility? You can do that through the surplus revenue. I mean, and there is an adequate amount of surplus revenue now, and there's positive steps have been taken to start determining what can we do to make a bigger difference with the flood control. And I know Dr. Peterson's going to be here soon, so it's like, you know what, here you go, here's your word. Get to work. But with that surplus revenue, we can do mobility projects. And it doesn't have to be a toll road project, and it's any and all mobility projects. We've adopted Atlas 14. When you touch a roadway, what does that happen? Like, we're all engineers. Guess what? Drainage is a subset to a roadway. Go touch a roadway, and guess what? Then you can do the drainage. And then you can lower the burden of our flood control and take that money and go put it in an area that's not funded yet, and you can do more for the people that we have with toll road. So there's steps to where we need to work. HCTRA is going to work very closely with flood control. It's going to work with engineering. And we're going to start really having an alignment of organizations to say, okay, how can we leverage efficiencies across all three to make a bigger difference in the communities? We all know that it's all interconnected. You know, if we were to partner with Metro and help them implement a transit metro plan, why couldn't we address a channel improvement or some flood control project as associated with that, with these mobility dollars that are coming through from the citizens of Harris County, making a difference for the citizens of Harris County? So those are the type of the connections that we're going to start taking a look at. But we need a data-driven decision. We need the data models that are going to come out of this all electronic tolling. We have the new vision. We have the leadership at engineering and flood control we need to work with. But we all see the connections. We all see the strength that Harris County HCTRA can provide. Just remember, Hardy has led to 88 miles of toll road in the orbit. And then, so we can do great things with HCTRA, but we're going to pivot slightly, and we're going to do, well, what I want to do is make a bigger change in the region, and we're going to need all your help to execute that. So, you know, we talked about surplus and helping flood control and helping engineering with other needs in the county. HCTRA is still a very, very healthy organization. What are we going to do with our construction bonding capacity? And that's where we can start building multi-use corridors with other partners to say, hey, we can use construction bond capacity, we could put a toll road, we can put other means of travel in that same corridor. So that way we can make a positive difference in the region and start leveraging all buckets of money that are at the toll road. Whose money is it? It's our money. It's Harris County's. Well, then how about reinvesting it? Right? So right now, I think our CIP, and I think a lot of people know, our CIP is kind of coming on the downslide. What we need to do is we really need to change that, and we really start defining what tomorrow means. The plans are there. Now it's time to execute. We have the resources to execute, the talent and the reasons to execute. The plans are there to execute. So what all electronic tolling means to me is, look, solidify your foundation, and while you're doing that, let's go execute. We're going to execute with everybody in the room. So that's what all electronic tolling is to me and the HCTRA employees here. I appreciate everyone's support in showing up today. You know what we want to do. We know everyone here is really smart, knows we have to do. Let's start connecting the dots, and let's start leveraging every asset that we have to start making a difference sooner rather than later. Okay? So with that, I think I have one more. So we'll talked about that. So on innovative volume, that's where we reference the connectivity and the urban core, right? So as we go through a community, the expectation is not, hey, let's just widen and do more cars. We got to do better. We got to involve community partners, and and that's other agencies here. And with that, we will open it up. Thank you very much, and we will open it up to any questions. Just know if you ask me a difficult question, I can't answer it. No contract for you. No, it's not happening. No. Well, thank you all very much. So next steps, I want to talk logistics. We want to have a visionary discussion of this is what we need to do. I've already had talks with County Engineer Rahman. Look forward to meeting Dr. Peterson when she gets here. But this is what we need to do. We're going to align the cash flows. We're going to start connecting the dots, and we're going to really start making a difference. And we're going to leverage this strength of that is an organization. We're going to leverage it all across Harris County. And we're really going to start making a difference. And it all ties down to just making a good, improved quality of life. It's onward.
So if you ask a question and you can answer, so that means a contract?
No.
So, I was just thinking to ask something very easy.
Oh, thank you. The softball. All right, I like it.
So first of all, thank you for all your help and support and everything. But I mean, if you look at one of the issues that may be helpful is that there are a lot of people coming in our town, and there are also, if you go to Northeast, there is some portable, like the toll tax. Mm-hmm. What that does is that, I mean, if you have a rental car or if you have a family, you can go from one place to another. If HCTRA can consider that, maybe that will help a lot of people.
All right, we're going to make you part of our focus group as we start evaluating those options. But no, absolutely, we're taking a look at those things. And I think I kind of ran over it. It was part of my talking points is the fact that tag, we really need to put it in every car in Harris County because we can lower the cost of our transaction to do more with what we have. And we are reaching out to the airport to see if we could partner with the airport to help with parking faster. We're going to reach out to NRG when they're done with the rodeo and all the work they're doing and say, hey, we've all had struggles leaving NRG. Like, we've all experienced it. Well, how about we have an easy tag that helps you pay for that parking, but gets you, it's mutual success. You get out of the parking faster, but, it helps us in the fact that the next time they go through a toll road, that transaction cost is minimal to us. So that's what I talk about is like we are going to permeate the market and with the easy tags, and we're going to be looking at any and all options as to how to get out there because there is a benefit. There is a benefit to the toll road and citizens of Harris County by lowering our transaction cost. All right. I like this. All right. So that was a fake threat. So you can ask questions. So we'll talk about
there's a lot of engineering strength in this room. What would you like to see from them when they reply to a contract?
Correct. So all electronic tolling is a little different. When you're working on the toll roads, it's a little slightly different than coming in with RFQ. I understand y'all have great relationships, and that's why we come to these events to build networks and build relationships, but don't impact my revenue when you design it. So what we're going to be asking for is we're going to be asking for you to submit. I guess quarter of your proof for us to everyone update your SOQs. I believe next Friday is when it'll actually come out. We're going to update your statement of qualifications. We will be selecting primes, and primes, if you're interested, we're going to line section essentially the toll road. We're going to put out sections to make sure that we look at everything. You're going to be focused to a section. As you submit, we can take a look. Like I said, we all know we got great resumes. We know who can design stuff. It's how can you make the community better? How can you focus on the customer and come up with creative ideas? Everyone will attest. Like I'm not the smartest guy in the room, so let's create ideas and be a little bit more creative in your SOQs. Like yes, the information, the request will be in there, but in your write-up, in your opening statement that come up with your SOQ, we want you to be really creative and saying, look, why don't, we could do this on this exit ramp. We can put this type of connectivity. We will connect this toll road to the community. The expectation is when you come with the SOQ, we will be connecting one side of the toll road to the other, or we may be connecting one bike trail from one segment to another. So what I'm going to be looking for is creativity in your SOQ, and that way when we select these primes, it's about this vision and mission statement being executed in the SOQ. It's not about the technical details. It's about executing the vision of the agency and what we do. So we'll be selecting primes. I'll kind of stray off a little bit. We'll be selecting primes, and collectively, everybody knows MWBE it will happen at the county. It is a goal, and we have to execute that. We'll be working collectively with staff and the selected prime to determine who the qualified MWBE firms that are going to be part of their team. So do not submit as teams. We will create the teams, because it's not that we don't trust you. It's the fact that don't threaten my revenue. And so we need qualified firms, because this is different than just standard city roadway work. We do need qualified firms that know TxDOT work and have strong structural, because we have some rigid standards. So we'll be putting teams together, but there will be a lot of opportunities. We broke this out so we can maximize opportunities, because I know the toll road's a little different. And it's like Commissioner Ellis says, like, well, if you never given a chance to participate, well, how can you get in that space? And it is true. So we want to give people opportunities to work in that space, but also securing a good quality product at the end of the day. So that's the process we'll be going through, and that's what I'd want to see when you come in your SOQs. Don't focus on the team, focus on yourself. Tell us what your strength is, and we will do everything we can to make sure you participate. We're going to take a look at the entire network, which means the Orbit, West Park, Hardy. We're going to look at everything to make sure that it's as safe as possible when it's fully all electronic and it meets the needs of Harris County. Commissioner.
Roberto, not a question, but just a statement. Thank you for your work with the County Attorney's Office, with TxDOT, to help us get to a better place with the North, with NHHIP.
All right. No, thank you very much, Commissioner. It's I think Varunda's in the room here. So I think that project is really an example of what the challenge we have in the future is, that you have a needed project. It's just like, how are you going to deliver it? And we have to raise the bar on how you deliver it, and hey, Varuna, how are you? I was like, wait a minute. You need to do, no, I'm just kidding. Look, there's a balance, right? There's a balance, right? It's mutual success. And I think, it's just taking a look at it from a different lens and saying, yes, this is the standard way we deliver projects. That's important. TxDOT has to succeed. But then the residents of Harris County have to succeed as well and say, look, I've been through multiple relocations of someone who's displaced. People where you walk up and you say, well, there's nothing here, but that's all they have. So, displacing someone that, potentially is impacted by a project is really difficult. And to minimize that, I think there's an answer to where there's mutual success, and I appreciate TxDOT's open discussions on trying to resolve that issue. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, so like I said, it's time to get back to work. Let's get to work. The planning's over. So thank y'all very much. Bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it, and look forward to working with you.